I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
By the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
So the reason that...
Can you shut up? It's so annoying. Do you feel like Republicans want to kill Jews?
Yes. They want to kill Jews. They want to kill black people. They want to kill brown.
Can I just ask your credentials and what you're
Oh, my name is Nate. I just have a YouTube channel.
Nate, so we don't know what side Nate
Let him.
I know, but
I don't care.
Just so you know, I'm with a group that is just pointing out that there are some folks here who will take words and
let them do it. I don't care.
Let's have a conversation.
I don't care. I don't give a shit. Let them deport me. Who the fuck cares about these? These are fucking. These are cunts who have no fucking balls and they will troll. Let them troll. I don't care. I don't give a shit about trolls.
I'm giving you fair warning.
I know that. I don't give a shit about.
Who is she with? Why is she not letting you talk?
I don't care about trolls like Charlie Kirk, Fuentes, and these. I don't give a shit.
Can I ask who are you with? Can I ask who are you with?
Thank you.
Who are you with?
I'm with America.
No, but you asked me who am I with, so I'm asking you who are you with?
Well, you're acting like a reporter with a...
I am a reporter.
Yeah, okay.
You want to see my press credentials?
I want to talk.
Wait, here's my press credentials.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so who are you with?
I'm right now I'm representing myself, and I'm representing the folks at Rise and Resist who have been trained
so Rise
to
and
be
Resist.
marshals.
How much do they pay you to wear this vest?
Absolutely nothing.
Really? So I did some digging, and the woman trying to stop my interview is named Karen Shaw. She is a professional protester. I found her at almost 100 different protests. Let's look at her portfolio, shall we? Here's her outside Trump Tower saying TikTok time's up. Here's her saying ban guns, not drag. Amazing. This is her telling us that lies have consequences. She is also very passionate about abortion. Even in the video right now, she's just wearing a hat that says abortion on it. Sometimes she gets less creative though and just holds a sign that says enough. Now here I found her working with a different professional protester that I've exposed. This is Stuart Waldman. He was there when they raised the Palestinian flag over City Hall in Rhode Island.
Everyone knows you.
Everyone knows me?
You are. They know what you do.
I know what you do as well, Stuart Waldman. You are on the board of riseandresist.org, the company that is paying people like Karen for a second job as a professional protester. And the donation link to give you money is just Act Blue, which is the fundraising platform for the Democrat Party. That's who you are, Stuart Waldman. Now back to Karen. I found her with another professional protester that I've exposed. This was back at the Tesla protest. This is just a few photos of this other professional protester out of maybe 50 that I found.
All right, folks, as you can see, it's a paid resistance. All right. And we're going to talk about this and more tonight. It is Monday and it's time for Pop and Politics. I'm KJ. Let me introduce you to my co-hosts. Of course, we have Nicole Bennett.
Hey, y'all.
And Shelly E.
Hi, everybody.
All right, folks. We've got a full show tonight. Before we light this fire, do your part. Tap that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications. We're live here on YouTube and Rumble. If you're on the go, you can catch us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify under the name Pop and Politics. We love our chat. We shout out every super chat. So drop your thoughts, show your love, and join the conversation that the mainstream media wishes didn't exist. This is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that value freedom. Stand with us and subscribe so we can amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right, ladies, let's set it off. Lots to get to tonight. Of course, we are coming in off of this weekend of the No Kings protests, of course. So we are here with this No Kings protest, and let's talk about it. What is wrong with you? Gonna bring everybody up? Thank you. All right. Little technical difficulties. All right, ladies. So again, we had these protests this weekend, and as we can see, I mean, I'm not going to say that they were all paid, because there were a substantial amount of people out this weekend, but we know that there are also a good amount of paid protesters. What did you think of what we just saw there, Shelley?
Well, I have to say this first. That woman, the what's her name? Whatever her name is, I think she was more representative of the people there than the media has shown us. In general, when I saw the news headlines, most of them were raving and positive. But when you dig a little deeper, and she's representative, but she's on the low end of a lot of the people that I think she's representative of at that protest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, she is being paid, but she was definitely representative of the radical left. Nicole, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Frankie. Her name was Karen, and she's a Karen, right? But Karen's smart. She's got a great part-time gig. All she has to do is show up and say whatever they want her to say. She said she works for America. That's a hard sell, Karen. That's a really hard sell. You know, I think a lot of these paid protesters did what they needed to do to kind of energize regular folk who were out. I know down my way, St. Mary's County, there were maybe 40 people standing on the side of the road. Somebody was dressed up like a chick in some kind of inflatable situation. One guy had the American flag upside down on a stick. And, you know, I felt like I needed to salute them. I gave them such a great salute. Unfortunately, only one of my fingers was working. And I yelled some fairly fancy Pittsburghese out of the window as I drove by twice.
All right. Yeah.
Get a life, folks. Get a life. Are you serious? This anti-American rally was gross. Absolutely gross.
Absolutely. But let's talk about being serious. Do you think, you know, the people took them seriously, Shelley? Because we did notice that this Snow Kings protest did bring out a larger crowd than the previous ones. Mm-hmm. So although there were a lot of nutty, radical, old people, old weirdos, yes. Mm-hmm. Was there should we take this seriously, Shelley?
I think we should take it seriously in that our side, we have got to stop just thinking that these people, yeah, they're nutty, they're loony, we get it. But we have got to stop thinking that, oh, they have to know better. They don't mean that. They mean exactly what they are saying. They mean exactly the reasons why they're out there protesting. We have got to start taking them seriously. And ultimately, what they want, I've said this once, I've said it twice, they want us dead. Every clip that I saw, again, not all of the mainstream media clips that were putting everything so positively, but the I guess the violence and the vile they were spewing, they want dead. So I don't know. We take them seriously. I keep calling them vampires because they love blood and they really want to see blood from our side. They want to see us bleeding. Do not for any instant underestimate these people and what they actually believe. They're out there protesting for what they believe. Believe them.
Yeah. We have some super chatters here, folks. Thank you all so much. We appreciate each and every one of you. Kung Fu CJ with the $2 super chat says, let's get it, ladies. Absolutely. Red Bucks with the $5 super sticker. We appreciate you. And AT with the $2 super sticker says, Shelley, your hair looks so good. We all said this before the show as well. She looks beautiful tonight. Yes, indeed. And, you know, folks, I agree with both of you, Nicole and Shelley. Yes, we need to take these people seriously. You know, there were a little bit more than there were previously. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're paying more people to come out or if there's actually more people that are upset about what's going on in the way the country is going. Now, I don't know how true that is because even CNN's guru, their data guru, I think his name is Eaton, is saying that Trump's overall approval is up. It's at 44.2%, up 1 point since the shutdown started. So we can compare that to a 3-point drop in 2018 to 2019. CNN's own July 2025 poll had him at 38% approval on healthcare. It was 62% disapproved, but that's pre-shutdown and tied to their, of course, favorite issue. Now he's increasing in the polls. So it looks like America is blaming the Democrats for this shutdown. What are your thoughts there, Nicole?
Listen, the Republicans did a very good job. The administration did a very good job of getting ahead of that, of getting ahead of them saying, oh, this is a Trump shutdown. This is a Johnson shutdown. Schumer shutdown just sounds better. And the press corps got out there and they asked the question over and over again, and we stayed on topic. This is the one thing that I will say that I appreciate about Trump 2.0 versus the original Trump administration. When there are talking points to be stayed on, they live and die on those talking points. Then you add in all the trolling that happens on social media, and what you have is America paying attention to the fact that we've asked them for a clean CR based on the budget that they passed 13 times in a row. What's the problem? They want $2 billion for illegal immigrants to have health insurance. They say, oh, no, illegals don't get health insurance here in the United States. Today, she dropped the receipts. Criminal after criminal after criminal after criminal who are on Medicaid. Right. You can't beat that with a stick. So there's no lying your way around that. I think it's important for people to see the truth, but I think adding a little bit of humor into it made it very palatable to Americans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, bringing it back to these No Kings protests, this may be a fringe element. And they're violent, folks. Take a look at this next clip where it really turned ugly. This is clip 1.
Let's go! ICE! God bless Trump! God bless Trump! God bless Trump! God bless Trump! Yeah, fuck you! Ride your bike, you fucking fag! Go get a job! Yeah! Fucking loser! Hey, get your buddy. Get your buddy. Back up, man. You ran into me. What the fuck? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Trip his ass. Trip his ass. Fuck you. Fuck Trump, pussy! Get the fuck out of here! Get out of here! You, dude! What are you doing? Get out of here! They're violent right now! Get fucked up! Get out of here! I don't know where they are! Get out of here! Get out of here! I'm sorry, man. You need to go. I don't want you to get hurt more than you are. I don't know where they are. Find new glasses.
Wow. That was hard to watch. So you can see the guy, the guy who they took his glasses, the one who was in the black vest, and that's what he kept trying to do. He was trying to get his glasses, but it appears the guy in the Bernie Sanders shirt was basically saying, "Look, man, these people are crazy. You need to get out of here." Is that what you ladies saw, Shelley?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But in the beginning, he fell on his own. They didn't trip him, right? They were saying, stop him or let's trip him. But he fell on his own because he was running. That's what I saw. That's what I'm going to make sure. Is that correct?
I don't know. I didn't see. Did you see that, Nicole?
what I saw was a person without his glasses trying to run.
That's what I thought. I mean, right. No one, that's what I mean. No one tripped him. But you're right. The guy at the end, was trying to say, look, just go, get out of here, whatever. I mean, I'm glad
he the second time. The second time they did trip him. When
the second time. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's when they did that. Yeah.
Right. So I don't.
He wasn't bloody in the beginning when he first fell.
No, he slid because he couldn't see. I mean, so depth perception in somebody that age is not
hard
great.
to watch. It's hard to watch in and of itself. But let me say this: I don't know that these people are a fringe. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. And I'll tell you why. The part I don't know is because they had a whole number of sponsors, right? And the sponsors are a representative of Americans. You had teachers unions. You had service unions. You had the Communist Party of the USA. They're not afraid anymore to say what they mean or believe. This is why I begun saying, we can call them communists. I mean, they are, many of them, but it doesn't mean anything to them. They take that as an accolade. They don't take it as something that they should be ashamed or embarrassed or something that's negative anymore. That's what I mean about that. But these people are representative by and large of a swath of America, of the American public. For again, people are saying, well, why are teachers there? Or nurses have said this. I've said this before too. Every institution has its people. People are a part of the panoply of America, and every institution will have people that represent or that will come out and say, maybe do horrible things. And okay, they're people. I mean, I don't know what you want to do. All ugly people and all scary looking people are not on the left. They look like some normal people. I mean, there are some loonies, but that's what they do. They work beside us. They live beside us. They go. Their children go to school. So this is why I say they're not fringe.
I see. Yeah, well, I agree there because they had Randy Weingarten. She was out there, and she's been leading the Teachers Association for decades. Yeah. And so she was out there. There was, like you mentioned, there were teachers, there were pastors. It runs the gambit. So what did you think of what we just saw, Nicole? And what I want to ask you is, how should we react to something like this? What are we supposed to do now when we see things like these No Kings protests, like people getting injured at these things? What should we do?
So the first thing we should do is advise people not to engage them. They have the right to go out and protest and be as foolish or as quote unquote serious as they think they are. If you're looking for who these people are, let me tell you who they're. They're damn Democrats. Let's not mince any words. These are union workers. You want to see why you have nurses and teachers out there? Because they belong to unions, and their unions tell them there's a rally. You need to be there. The same thing with some of these very, very liberal clergy. Right? They still got to be in their bonnet about the whole Charlie Kirk thing. We stole God from them and they're not happy. They're very, very not happy. With all of that said, the cure to this No Kings rally is exactly what we're doing, toeing the line. We're going to stand on principle. We're going to stand on policy. They need to come to the table. We will not bend the knee to illegal aliens collecting another tax dollar for their health care. Here's the point. If we don't stop giving them free things, they won't stop coming. You go to Mexico right now. The three of us could go to Mexico. Pick any town. Let's just pick a town. You go to any Mexican town. None of us is getting free health care.
No.
Not one of us. Fool around and get sick. We're going to have to pay them hard American earned money. And then somebody's going to have to nurse you because they're not providing one. You got to bring your own sheets, that whole bit. Here's the difference. Here in the United States, we've made it so comfortable for them that they really and truly believe that they have the same rights as citizens. They do not. It is a privilege to be born under the stars and stripes. It's a wonderful thing. The grace of God made us born here. For the people who've come here other ways, legally, welcome to the United States. But people who jump the border, jump the line, you get what you got. You talk about FA and FO. This is what we're finding out now.
Absolutely. Yeah, but it does upset me. Even when we see something like this where, the guy in the vest who bloodied his face, he was, yelling at the crowd, but he didn't deserve what that. He He didn't deserve that. Even though he did fall, they didn't have to. They took his glasses first. Okay. So, it angers me. And so this is why we started this podcast, to bring everyone together, to bring forth God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people together. We want to keep everyone updated and alert on what's going on. And we want to give people a chance to be a part of something, to let the mainstream media, culture all tell us that, it makes it sometimes believe like that's how most of America is. But there are people like us that are fighting the good fight. And also one of those people is Kathy Barnett. Folks, if you remember Kathy, she's a fiery Christian conservative. She's a radio host, author. She ran for, I believe it was Senate in Pennsylvania. Was a MAGA conservative. Well, she is hosting the Seed and Root Summit in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania this weekend. Yeah, Saturday. The Seed and Root Summit 2025, Faith, Family, and the Future of Work in America. Folks, this is going to be an awesome event, and we're going to be there. The ladies of Pop and Politics will be there most of the day. It starts at 9 a.m. This is less of a conference and more of a series of conversations on faith, family, and the future of work in America, the cradle of civilization. It's a nonpartisan, it is nonpartisan by design, but it's rooted in all of our values, okay? And so she's doing this because she, as we always talk about, see how families are under strain. Our culture is fractured, and far too many people are unprepared for the building, for future, for work. And so this is going to be you're going to have panels, they're going to have conversations with some of our favorite people. As you can see on that pamphlet there, there's Delano Squires of the Heritage Foundation. He's going to be there. Another one that I can't wait to meet is Kazian, I believe I can't pronounce. Am I pronouncing his right? Kazian, yes, Kazian Asidu. He's always over Twitter. He's founder of Clear Thinker Academy. Really good conservative voice, younger conservative voice. He'll be there. Also, one of our faves, Kim Klasick, will be there, and many more. So, folks, if you are interested, you want to, be a part of something, of the solution, come on here. You can get tickets at kathybarnett.com. Again, that's www.kathybarnett.com for our listening audience. And this is going to be on Saturday, this Saturday at the Liberty View at Independence Visitor Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're going to be there all day. We're going to be bringing you the all of the news and the interviews with people who are going to be at this great event. And so we're excited, and we hope we see some of you guys. What do you ladies think? Anything else you want to add?
No, it looks like it's a nice, good panel there, a lively panel. I'm anxious to hear some good, I guess I would say, solutions, if you will, and how we. I'm of the belief that most of those people that we saw on that No Kings rally representatively, I'm of the opinion where I'm sick of them people. I don't even really have the energy to engage with them. Again, very isolated circumstances, but I want to hear solutions for how our side can put forth so that it's not just reactionary, we're actually being proactive.
Right. Also, April Chapman. April Chapman is there from was it Spirit of Truth here on YouTube? The April Chapman show. She's there. Nicole, what are your thoughts? I know you're excited.
I am. I'm a huge fan of the gentleman scholar, Delano Squires. He's one of my dearest friends, and this man is incredibly bright. Also, Ian Rowe of American Enterprise. Let me tell you, when you talk about men who are behind the scenes making it happen. This man started charter schools in Harlem with class education. So these kids read consistently. Did this out of his own pocket because he saw a gap, he filled the gap. an amazing man, a tremendous human being. Delano the same, and our girl Kim. Listen, y'all gonna have to fight me off. I cannot wait. I'm so excited to talk to them all.
Yes, indeed. Right, S-Files. Unshakable with April Chapman. She was just the one with Allie B. Stuckey talking about the pro-life movement, talking about family, talking about marriage. I'm excited to see her and so many others. So get your tickets now while they have them. I talked to Kathy today. They are almost sold out. But please, we wanted to let you guys know, our audience, because we want to see you guys there as well. Would love to see, your faces there. So again, you can go to www.kathybarnett.com. And when you do get there, please come grab us to say hello. All right. So we're going to get right back into this. So again, talking about this No Kings protest. I think a lot of this is because they're just disgruntled, because as we said, President Trump's polling is still pretty good. It's not the best, but it's still pretty good. It's definitely when we're talking about what we have going on here, and they are fuming over it. Even they're fuming also because the truth is starting to get out. Even their longtime people who would lie or misinform are actually telling the truth now. This Sunday on ABC, an interviewer actually admitted that the shutdown is due to the Democrats. Take a look here. This is clip 4.
Democrats did not vote for the clean funding bill. They have chosen to shut the government down.
Wow. So, I mean, that was brief, but I'm surprised he actually said that. What are your thoughts, Nicole?
They've been saying the quiet part out loud all weekend.
Okay.
What most people don't realize is that a lot of these people in the media are married to federal employees, right? And so, people talk a lot of trash when their bills are getting paid. But when there's a serious disruption to your income flow, it may change your mind politically. This clean CR, we have been hammering them with this, and it is working. There's something about telling the American people, again, the truth, blending it with a little humor, and it seems so much more palatable to them. This clean CR is not the Republicans gaining any ground. We're still working on Joe Biden money, right? Mm-hmm. This is the same budget that they fought us for. We're just saying, let's pass this. We'll sit down and we'll hammer out the details of everything else. Well, they don't want to hammer out the details to everything else because they're outnumbered. But listen, the longer this shutdown takes, the more and more disgruntled people they're going to be. And let me say, there's going to be enough anger for everybody. There's going to be a ton of anger against the Democrats. And we've seen that already. This is why they put out, neck wiggler Jasmine Crockett to try to say that this is a Republican shutdown. The Republicans control the House, they control the Senate and the presidency. This is their shutdown. Well, everybody knows that you need 60 votes in the Senate to pass this. 60 votes. We don't have 60. Hopefully after the midterms, we'll have 60 and we won't have to live through this again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shelly, what are your thoughts on that exchange there, or that quick soundbite?
Yeah, I think in general, I think the American public, we are seeing, I saw it before, but I wanted it before. We're seeing that we don't really need the federal government as much as we think we do. That's what I think this shutdown is starting to show. So that's number one. So I still want people to be paid for the work that they do. Don't get me wrong. However, I think we're seeing that. And then number two, I think the media, they're starting to see that the American people are not as riled up about this as they thought we would be. And number three, it's amazing. Even here in Maryland, we got that faggot ass, but in my opinion, Westmore, whatever his name is, in my never to be humble opinion, that's just me. But he's out there making all these concessions and wants to give federal workers free bus rides and public fare, no fee, things like that. All of these things. I know he wasn't in office during the scamdemic. Unfortunately, we had a Republican in office during the scamdemic who actually condoned and promoted the shutdown. Okay, now that's a different story. But what we're starting to see is that Americans don't really care necessarily that federal workers are not working. They just don't. And I'm not saying that I want them all gone, but I want the government to be smaller. That's just me. I want the government to be smaller. And if we don't need excess, we don't need excess. So I think the media has begun to see that, and they're seeing that we are just not as riled up. So take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, we have some super chatters here, folks. Want to get you all in on this. Thank you so much. We appreciate each and every one of you. So we have Camille. She is a new YouTube member. She has joined our Freedom Seekers Club. Thank you so much. Hey, Wanda. Wanda says Grand Rapids, no kings had furries. Oh, wow. With flags. That's crazy. Philip James says, God bless you, ladies. Hope all is well. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat. Brown Eyes says, hello, my favorite ladies, with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yes, indeed. I know. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you. Folks, if you come in, hit that like button. It really helps to get this video out in front of a wider audience. Tells YouTube to push this out in front of more people, and subscribe. We are on a way. We want to grow this channel to 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We know we can do it with each and every one of you. So please hit that like button and subscribe. All right. So, as you mentioned, as you both mentioned, the Democrat Party is in shambles. It is in shambles. And one thing that we keep hearing is there's no leadership. There's no leadership, or the leadership that everybody wants to be a leader, and they're all just horrible at it. They're horrible at it. Take a look at this next clip. This is clip 6.
Front. On the other side, Democrats can't even agree amongst themselves. You got different subgroups among them. You've got a few reasonable Democrats who know shutdowns hurt the people, and they've already voted for our bill. They want to keep the government open. Then you've got others desperate to prop up the failures of Obamacare with no reforms whatsoever to make the program more affordable. That's what we're fighting for. And you've got AOC calling for her own negotiations on live TV, and you've got Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries still unable to articulate what it is they need to reopen the government. It illustrates the point once again. This was never about a solution. It was about creating an issue. Now that Democrats have had their protest and publicity stunts, I just pray that they come to their senses and end this shutdown and reopen the government this week. Republicans are waiting. The American people are waiting, and we are ready to act. As evidence of just how united Republicans are in this fight, I've asked two of our prominent leaders in the House Republican Conference. I've got House Freedom Caucus.
The Faulkner Focus hit the streets, as we often do, to talk with people and ask them who they believe the leader of the Democrat Party is. Let's watch.
I am a Democrat. Nobody. Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a hard one.
I'm not too sure.
Oh, man. I don't know.
I don't think they have a leader.
I don't think we really have one.
I feel like we don't have enough leading.
They need to find one. You think that the Democrats would have just someone out there who actually could lead them?
Where are the plans? All you ever hear is how bad he is. Talk about how you're going to put food on the table, pay the bills.
There it is. Nicole, were you surprised to hear a lot of Democrat voters say that?
No. Not at all. They have been screaming for the last 8 months for someone to take control of the party, for someone to step up and be the voice of reason. But what they got was a bunch of people who'd rather get the clicks than get the policy done. What Stephen A. said about Jasmine Crockett was 100% right. Is she leading her district? What is she bringing home? Is she there doing their business, or is she there to raise her own star? And what we've seen time and time again, these are people who are trying to raise their own star. Hakeem Jeffries and that dumb stunt he did, like talking for 24 hours, and they were so proud of him because he didn't take a pee break. Really? Really? How did that move the needle for New York? It's still rife with crime and illegal immigration up the wazoo. They torn up 4 of the best hotels in the city, housing illegal migrants, quote unquote, in these beautiful hotels that are now run down and probably will likely never see a paying customer again. You know, when you think of what they've done it to themselves. We didn't even have to force them to do it. Everybody wants to be popular, but nobody wants to be the leader.
Yeah. Yeah, Shelley, what did you think of that? And what do you think this says about as we go into the midterms?
Look, I think it says those people that just on that clip, they were generally looked to be older people, older Americans. They reminded me of the, I guess what we would call the old blue dog Democrats. Okay. They want to see, I'm guessing, they want to see America succeed. Certainly they want what the Democratic Party doesn't have, leadership. They want to know, what are we really fighting for? It can't just be about against Trump, because technically Trump is not going to be in the ballot in 3 more years. Okay. He's not himself, but these people, they're looking for leadership. But on the other side, I think they do have leadership. They just haven't been crowned. They got Bernie Sanders. They have AOC. They do have, these are the people who are leading them. These are the radicals, the far left people that get them riled up. They got George Soros, who's been in a leadership position for years because he's been funding them and getting them more and more publicity, if you will. That's who their leaderships are. Leadership is their leadership are the ones who rallied the protest this weekend. This is why the rest of the party, the reasonable people, if you will, the people in the middle, this is why they think like, what the hell is going on? They do have leadership. We're just misnaming the people who are really leaders.
Oh, I don't even think we're misnaming. And I 100% agree with you, Shelley. They do have leadership, but they know that the ones who are leading the party, the public looks at them as radical, too radical to talk about. Case in point is Zoran Mondani. You know, he is a radical socialist, might as well say communist, and he is the direction of the Democrat Party is going. But many of the blue dog Democrats, if there are any left, or a large part of the party, they don't want to say that because they know it is a turnoff to voters. Okay, and these people are liars. Case in point, Nicole, you brought it up earlier, how they, are lying about how illegals are getting free medical care, free Medicaid. The White House, as you mentioned, put this out today on their social media. I mean, they go down the list of these illegals who have been caught, criminal illegals at that, and they've been receiving Medicaid. This one was deported. I mean, here you can go down the list. They put out a whole thing. Here's another one from Guatemala. Here's another one. Oh, you guys, he looks white, so that should make you a bunch of leftists happy because they always say, "Why is it brown? Why they brown?" This one's from Mexico. All of these were receiving Medicaid. Okay, so we do know that the Black folks still vote about 90% for the Democrat Party. Well, you people, who are voting for them, who needed, medical care, or homeless, things like that. They're giving out your benefits to illegals, criminal illegals at that.
Listen, in addition to criminal illegals, let's not even talk about the people who have just hopped the border. Right. These are just illegal aliens who have, unfettered access to our healthcare. And then there's these DACA children, so-called DACA children. And they kill Medicaid, absolutely kill Medicaid. These children that were brought here without any adult supervision are absolutely on chip. What Democrats do, and Shelley and I have laid this out before, is they move pots of money around over and over again. And we see this every day in what we do for a living, every single day. There are medical practices in certain areas of our state that have closed their doors because these people are afraid to come out now. They're afraid to come out. Now CASA is telling them that, don't use your Medicaid because they'll track your whereabouts based on the information that you give to Medicaid, your name, address, telephone number, all of that's required to get Medicaid. So people have been turning it down, won't re-up their health insurance. And the reason why they're doing it is so they don't want to be found out. Wow. They don't want to be found out. So this is, it is definitely a ripple effect. It's going to be millions of people who are going to get booted when they finally come back to the table. But this is not how America works. You don't get to tuck tail and run. That's anti-American. We don't run from our problems. We look our problems in the face and we fix them. Nobody's going to get 100% of what they want. But if you get 80%, call it a win. Call it a win. But what we're not going to do is give you $2 billion with a B dollars to fund the people that we keep telling you cannot stay. They cannot stay.
Yeah. And this is what the shutdown is about, folks. This is what it's about. And speaking of leadership, we got to go to Bernie Sanders. He is still kicking. He is still out here screaming at everybody. And he was on The View today, and he actually got called out speaking about this shutdown. Take a look. This is clip 8.
It'd be powerful, though, is if Congress didn't take their money while they were waiting, because right now it's hard to imagine it's incentivized. It's easier for the politicians in D.C. to go away from each other and say, we will win this way, while people are losing their paychecks. If Congress just said, we're not going to take our paychecks till we figure this out, that would be a noble step in the right direction, I would say.
That's not everybody can afford to do. You got some young people there with kids there.
Either can the people that aren't getting paid, though,
I think
and
that's
there's
a fair
holdout.
point. I think that's a fair point.
Now you see, as soon as they talk about taking away their money, hold up. Shelly, you've been talking about this for weeks. What is your thoughts on that exchange?
First of all, I love this clip. Let me say this real quick, KJ, about the illegals. Remember, I've been saying this, Nicole mentioned it right. Remember, I told you how don't get caught up in the word subsidies and all these grants. It's a fungible shell game. They can move money. What happens is, particularly with the state, the Medicaid part, people can get on the state rolls and then the state will be reimbursed by the federal government. That's how they get away with it. And they say they're not on the federal law, prohibits that. But this is how they get illegal aliens on federal funds, taxpayer funded healthcare. That's number one. Number two, with Bernie saying this, you're right. The other day on that panel with Stephen A. Smith and O'Reilly, whatever, exactly. Stephen A. Smith pointed out, he said, everybody up here, you all are getting paid. That air traffic controller in the audience just said he has to go deliver a DoorDash just to put his daughter through her school. Come on. This is what I mean. They are so oblivious and arrogant, whatever you want to call it, that they do not even realize the regular Americans across the board that their policies are hurting while they still get taxpayer funded checks. I mean, whether they say they're going to take them or not, I don't even think that's it. They shouldn't get them, period. You can say I'm not going to take it until whatever, period. You shouldn't get them. It should be when the government shuts down, which I want it to be smaller, don't get me wrong. But when the government shuts down because Congress can't get their act together for whatever reason, then nobody in the executive, legislature, or judicial branch should get paid. I'm sorry. That's federal money. That's fine. They should not get any of my damn taxpayers. As a matter of fact, let's get some refund checks to the American people who are still paying your salary. All those salaries for every branch of government that should not get them, send a refund check back to us because we're still paying your salary and the government shut down.
Yeah, they're a bunch of welfare kings and queens are what they are. And definitely Bernie Sanders. He's been on that government tit so long, that nipple is red and bruised, okay? So this is why when they started talking about money, this old man,
like,
hold up. Yeah.
No, not Mr. Fight the Oligarchy, right?
Yeah,
not Mr. No Kings with his king-looking self. You know, what's interesting is, Shelley made a valid point, and this is something that I think resonates with the American people when they see this. So when you see legislators complaining and some federal employees, not all of them, but some federal employees complaining, man, I got to deliver DoorDash. Man, I got to pick up a job here. Welcome to the United States of America. We all pick up side jobs. What do you think we're doing? What do you think the rest of the nation is doing? When you have more bills than you have money and you can't lower your bills anymore, you go out and you make more money. That is Americana 101. So miss me with, I have to have a second job. You're foolish. That is not what you want to say to the American people. And this is what I mean when I say they don't have any leadership. Because somebody at the DNC is in charge of messaging. Whoever that person is should be fired, should be let go, should never write another message again, because their messaging should be different. Their messaging should say, listen, we hurt with the American people. We're not going to collect a dime. Even after the shutdown is over, we're going to donate our money to this, that, or the third. But the administration said, you know what? We're going to find a way to pay the soldiers. We're going to find a way to make sure that SNAP benefits get paid. We're going to find a way. And there are many people who work in the Trump admin who don't collect a salary at all.
Wow.
At all. So, they're really on the losing end of this this argument. Again, the messaging is just bad.
Nicole, one of them is President Trump. I don't think he's taking a salary, is he?
He's never taken a salary. No.
Right.
But you know how
Nobody talks about that.
How many millions of dollars he's spent? Eric, his son Donald, have spent protecting themselves from the onslaught of Joe Biden's DOJ. They spent millions of dollars trying to keep themselves out of prison. Charlie Kirk talked about it. He was saying the reason why he cried when Trump won is so that he wouldn't have to go to federal prison and he could raise his children and love his wife. When they enacted that amount of lawfare against them, you may not lose the case, but the losses and all the money you had to spend to defend yourself.
Right.
So they bring these frivolous cases. You got to go out, not just hire, Nicole in the corner. You got to go get a big whole law firm to protect yourself from the very government of the United States of America. So yeah, it's a lot, and people don't see the sacrifice. But I think those of us who are looking beyond the sound bites see what this man has done.
Yeah. And even at the top of the show, when we showed that clip of President Trump speaking about the No Kings protest, and, he's saying, hey, I'm not a king. I'm not even getting paid. And on top of that, I work my ass off, is what he said. And I think that needs to be something that is spoken about more.
Agreed.
He is one of very few, if I recall, who is not taking a salary. He has declined it. Okay, so when we talk about the government shutdown, President Trump, our very own president, is not taking a salary. I want you guys to sound off on this. What we have some super chats. What do you guys think? Let's see here. All right, we have Red Bugs with a $10 super chat. Says the No Kings rally looked to be filled with the old-time baby boom Vietnam protesters who desperately want to be relevant again. Yes, they were old and the kids. Some of them had the canes in the cars, the walkers behind the bushes.
Seats that roll with the rolly seats. Like,
Kung Fu CJ says John Fetterman is the only Democrat that is sane. Yeah, it looks like. Tijuana Border Jumper with a $10 super chat says, good evening, ladies, Nicole, KJ, and Shelly. All right. Thank you so much, folks. We appreciate it. You guys help keep us online. Without you, we could not do this. We appreciate your super chats, your likes, your shares. Thank you all so much. We love you guys, and we really appreciate it. All right. Bernie is not finished yet, folks. I mean, they gave this guy sort of like a talk about a king. They made him feel like a king today on The View. Take a look at this next clip. This is clip 7.
Trump let George Santos out of jail. At the same time, though, that he's going after folks like James Comey and Letitia James. So how are you feeling about this, what I think most Americans see as an unequal display of judicial accountability and the weaponizing of government?
And he just happened to pardon, well, was it over 1,000 people who tried to overthrow the United States government?
Yeah.
January 6th.
All right. And meanwhile, in an unprecedented way, and this is scary stuff, he is going after the Attorney General of the state of New York because she did her job, going after a sitting United States senator, going after the former head of the FBI. That is not what America is about. We disagree with each other, that's fine, but we don't throw our opponents in jail.
You just have to come back some more. You just have to come back again.
What? Shelly, I mean, we don't throw our opponents in jail? Is this man going through dementia too?
No, this is why I keep saying they really do believe what they put out there. He's not joking. They don't, and this is why we can't agree. We can't even have a starting foundation because we don't even agree on all the facts. We don't even agree that the facts are facts, number one. They just don't. What about the 34 indictments? Because they've been saying that for years. 34 indictments. We elected a felon. What about the four federal state charges and court cases. What about Russiagate? What about they were going to literally, Donald Trump had a mugshot, okay? Stood for a mugshot. What do you mean they don't put our opponents in jail? They raided the man's house. They went through Barron's and Melania's drawers. I mean, not drawers like drawers. I mean panties. Her damn panties. I mean her panties. That's what I mean. They run roughshod over this man, not just the last 4 years, but since 2016, certainly. They had people on his team put in jail. You think they were not coming for Donald Trump? Hell, guess what? They shot the man twice. I mean, what more? You can't make this up. These people, again, they live in a whole different reality. There is no, with this kind of thinking or whatever these people, this part of the left or the Democrat, there is no middle ground with them. Zero. You might as well be
standing on them too.
You might as well be standing on quicksand. Stand on quicksand. You might have a better chance of standing on some level ground than trying to make the Bernie Sanders types say, okay, wait a minute, what about this? That's not going to work.
Yeah. And Nicole, can you believe he said that?
Of course I can. You know, truth is not his strong suit. It never has been. Remember, he's a socialist. He's a communist. Bernie is not. In today's politics, he seems like he's a blue dog Democrat compared to the other people who are out there. But Bernie has always been on the bottom side of your shoe like gum. You know it's there, and no matter how hard you scrape, you can't get it off. He's going to be elected to Congress because he really believes this foolishness, and the people that he represents believe it too. We can't, and you're right, Shelley, there is no middle ground because they don't stand on the ground with us. What happens is we fund their lunacy and they enjoy their lunacy. We wring our hands, wipe our eyes, and try to fight to make it better. And they think up some more dumb shit. This is American politics. This is how this has been forever, my entire life. This is what this has been. So how do we work around Bernie? For a long time, people just ignored him. But this is what happens when you ignore cancer. Look at what we have now. He seems one of the most sane Democrats next to John Fetterman in the entirety of the United States government. This is what happens when we allow them to run rampant. We can't continue at this pace, folks. This is what your children are being taught in school. This is the information that they get. They're doing their best to breed another generation of this kind of foolishness. Bernie absolutely knows he's talking shit. He knows that. He absolutely knows that. But he also knows where he is and who he's talking to. He's sitting in a studio in New York City. All of those women on that panel know he's a damn lie, and they're not going to say one word. Not one word. Not one word.
Yeah. And they sat up there talking about how President Trump, or slamming him, calling him authoritative dictator, and these no kings protests. When Bernie Sanders, you want to talk about dictatorship, you want to talk about authoritarian. This man wants to tax people out of the oblivion to oblivion. He wants to confiscate all of our money, folks. You know, he wants to ban private insurance and force a government monopoly. This is authoritative type stuff. He wants to ban guns. I mean, you talk about our freedom. This is why this whole no kings thing was so hypocritical, because we are so far from being kings in a monarchy. We are about freedom when they are the total opposite. They want to push climate and the Green New Deal and all this type of crap and take away our gas stoves, take away our gas cards, and have us dependent on them to go and come when they want us to. They turn off our cars. They want to take, if they don't want us going somewhere. That's freedom right there. They want to take away. I mean, there are so many things that these people are doing and trying to do to take away our freedoms, and they have the nerve now to have a no kings a rally and protest.
KJ, you hit it right on top of the head. He wants everybody else's money, but you saw his reaction when they talked about his money.
Right.
You talk about punch. I mean, he almost jumped up off the stool with his own.
That's what I'm saying. He almost fell off the stool. He fell off the stool.
Money but his own. That's the thing. He can spend your money better than he can spend his. This is all. This has always been their MO, and for a very long time, people just kind of ignored him. He was the crackpot, the goofy guy. But now, since he's the middle of the road for this party,
exactly,
we had better start taking these people seriously enough, or what's going to happen next?
Mamdani, what's his name?
Yeah, that's
Zam damn it. All across this nation, more Muslims being elected to American cities because they sit on the camera and smile, and they've got that Obama-esque charm, and the next thing you know, you're wearing drapes. Come on, America.
That's what's going to
happen. And smelling like old socks.
Listen, and some other stuff. But get you a T-shirt, this unapologetically American T-shirt, so you can walk around and tell them what you're working with, right? So we're not going to take it lying down. We're really not. There's something that's to be said for Bernie's service to the United States, but there's a whole lot more to be said about his lack of cognitive ability.
Yep, absolutely, Nicole. And this is where we have here, folks. This is our merch store where you can get that shirt. Nicole's wearing it today. Unapologetically American. We need to wear this type of stuff and make these type of statements more than ever right now, okay? Because America, they're trying to take this place away from us, folks. We got to stand up and be unapologetically American, unapologetically happy for our success. We work hard. We want to keep our own money. We want to keep we believe in the Second Amendment and our right to bear arms. We don't want to wear masks if we don't want to, and so on and so forth. So folks, if you agree with those statements, go to our store right on the front page of our YouTube channel and click on the shop button, and you can get all of our merch. That shirt there, that phrase comes in hats, shirts, hoodies, all stickers. You can get it all there, and we appreciate it. It's a great way to support the channel. Absolutely. All right. So we have some super chatters here. Thank you all so much. Speaking of support, all right, Melanie with the $10 super chat says sending love and support. Thanks for all you do. Thank you so much, Melanie. Kung Fu CJ is like I don't want to say daddy, but he's like the brother of the channel. He's like the uncle. We love you, Kung Fu CJ. You're always there. $5 super chat says, we elect servants, not leaders. The people are the kings and queens in the United States of America. All right. Absolutely, folks. And this is what we want to drive home. This is sanity. This is sanity right here. But when we talk about, the left, all we keep seeing are the insane, are the nutty, are the radical. And that brings us to Bobby DeNiro. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Robert De Niro in real life would be such a kook? A kook. He was like back in the day, with The Godfather and a whole bunch of movies he did where he was just like this strong Italian guy.
He was acting.
This man is nothing like the characters he's played. He's more like his character on Meet the Parents. Not even that. He's worse than that, because even in Meet the Parents, he was still like a man's man, but here he is in this next interview. He's just a nut. This is clip 5.
He will not. We see it all the time. He will not want to leave. He set it up with his, I guess he's the Goebbels of the cabinet, Stephen Miller. He's a Nazi. Yes, he is, and he's Jewish, and he should be ashamed of himself. Trying to signal to the people they reach, and I'm certainly not reaching those people on this program, but maybe through little sound bites and this and that, and the internet and so on. They're trying to. They're used to seeing Trump do his stuff, and they talk and they listen, and that's the truth to them, because they don't listen to anything else. It's somewhere way out in the Midwest, somewhere out out west, in certain places, the rural places. That's the truth, because he gets the airtime, and I think that we need more airtime, just more push against, and not. I wish that you can't do this in some ways, but that the news media could find ways to kind of ignore or tamp down nonsense from Trump. It's just total nonsense. But those people out there listen to it and assume if it can be on the air and it's out there, it's the truth.
Mr. DeNiro?
What? What? I mean, they just let him babble on. Somebody get this man a script. Shirley, what are your thoughts?
I really don't like saying things about old men and old ladies. You know, they've lived long lives, and you know, you generally want to respect them, if you will, and honor them for their old age and gray hair. But Robert De Niro is a crazy bitch. Okay, he's just a crazy bitch. Okay, and unfortunately, he is not the first. His history has some tyrants, if you will, far left, far right, authoritarian, whatever, who have been some documented some psychosis, megalomania, like Nero. I think Idi Amin, other reports, things like that. So he's not alone in that sense. I mean, he's not in a leadership position, but he was a leader in his own right as far as his craft, right? Now he just looks like a little bitch wimp. That's what he looks like. All those movies that had him puffed up, and he was an excellent actor, right? I remember him in Ronin, you know, excellent actor. Yes, right, excellent actor, you know. But he's really in real life, he's just a bitch, a wimp bitch. And unfortunately, you know, real life is where you spend most of your time. But that's all he is now. He looks like a bitch wimp.
Yeah, Nicole. I mean, one flew over the cuckoo's nest, and it was Robert De Niro.
It was him. It was him, and nobody caught him. He just kept flying, just out there in the universe. But I'm going to tell you, Shelley has a point. You know, he is an old man, and there should probably be some grace for him. But you know, I'm of a different school of thought that you've been on the planet long enough to know better. Right? He's been here so long, he ought to know better. But I'm going to give him grace in this moment. You know, Hollywood has gone a certain way. I'm sure his opportunities have gone a certain way as well. And maybe this is his way of, you know, letting people know that he's still out there and he's still kicking around, and maybe wants to play, you know, another Fokker like he did in the Meet the Parents series. But I feel like Shelley's right. I mean, at some point, you have to be responsible for the things that you say. This is a good point for us to look at De Niro and say, you know, you're a fine actor, but you're a miserable American. Absolutely a miserable American.
Yeah, I mean, you know, other actors have gone forward gracefully. You don't hear this from Al Pacino. You know, we didn't hear this from Marlon Brandon, Jack Nicholson. You know,
right.
We didn't hear this.
Stallone, all of them, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, so Sylvester Stallone, he does come out with his politics a little bit, but he's on the right. But this guy has totally ruined it for me. I can't even watch his movies anymore. I just continue to see this sniveling, whining man. You know, he's not believable in his movies to me anymore, because he's just come out in real life too often. And now you see he's so bad as he's destroyed his own son. He's got his own son out here now in dresses and cross-dressing and all types of stuff. I mean, it's really sad. It really is. I don't know who his family is. You know, he recently got divorced, I think within the last couple of years. But somebody, please, come get him. Come get this man. I mean, he is the poster child for TDS. He really is the poster child for TDS. And I don't know, I put him right up there with Joe Biden. I mean, he's becoming like the civil servant Joe Biden right now. You know, he's not in office, but he's just rambling on. I mean, next thing I know, he's going to be sucking on some ice cream or some lollipop. Okay, this needs to stop. It really does. And before this takes us to our next segment, but before we do, I want to acknowledge our super chatter here, folks. Thank you all so much. We got Miss Jennifer.
Hi, Miss Jennifer.
Says Shelley is right. I work in a liberal state, and my coworkers are so TDS stubborn. One baby boomer was telling me that Charlie Kirk deserved to die. Wow. I downright have stopped talking to him. All I can do is pray for them. Yeah, that's all you can do. You can't get through to these people. I've learned that. You cannot, especially the old ones. If you realize these old ones have TDF, you gotta try to change the subject. That's all we can do. But speaking of old, we got to get to Corinne Jean-Pierre. She's back, folks. She's back. Of course, Corinne Jean-Pierre was the White House press secretary for Joe Biden. She's out here peddling a book, and she straightened her hair. So you may not recognize her. But I mean, I think she looks pretty. But she's out here and she is lying through her teeth. Take a look. This is clip 9.
Was saying, because I too thought that, and people said, why didn't members of his inner circle speak up about what many believe was the apparent decline of Joe Biden? You said you're a member of the inner circle and you never saw the decline. And after that, I wrote, how? Yeah. You even write, Corinne, that you were on the plane with him going to the debate and you didn't see anything.
Well, when we were on the Air Force One going to the debate, you got to remember his campaign people were on the team, his family was on the team. I actually was one of those rare trips that I didn't really see him until after the debate, even though I was on the plane. So really, I want everybody to know that I take this question incredibly seriously. I do. I was his White House press secretary, which means I had a role that saw him practically every day and traveled with him.
And you saw nothing.
For more than 95%. We've always said, we're not going to say, oh, he didn't age. He aged. And he poked fun at it. We always owned up. And with age comes what happens when you get older.
Which is?
But when we talk about the mental acuity, and again, I take this very, very seriously. Yeah. I never saw anyone who wasn't there. I saw someone who was always engaged. I saw someone who understood policy, pushed us on the policy, and also understood history. And there were times, I'll tell you the story, there were times where he would call me into the Oval Office, and I would be like, oh no, because I knew whatever he was going to ask me was going to be direct, was going to be about a story he read, about how we're pushing back, how we're pushing a message forward.
And you write about the people within the party pushing him out. Some would describe those people fighting for a replacement candidate is fighting. But you also describe this current state of the Democratic Party as too timid. And what can the Democratic Party do to get out of this timid and even some will say disappointing place?
So timid that you've gotten out of the Democratic Party.
Here's the thing. I actually think that the system is broken. The two-party system is broken, and we need it to be fixed, to be working in order for a democracy. Look, just this past Saturday, millions of people, 7 million people.
All right, folks. She's either lying or she's the biggest idiot that we have seen in a very long time. Nicole, which is it? Is she an idiot or is she lying?
Yep, both of them. But I'm going to use my favorite meme, and I enjoy this meme every time I say it. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Love that meme. Let me tell you, Joe Biden is crazy, and she knows it. This is her chance at trying to be relevant again. Because, after the first round of the book tour, people were like, oh, okay, another lying book. She's out the door. Now she wants to straighten her hair and come back with the same spiel. Everybody has already said that he was absolutely cognitively deficient to be in that role, to be in any role. Peepaw should have been at home, having ice cream, riding his bike through Delaware, minding his damn business. And that's not being mean. But here's the thing. He dedicated most of his life to service to this nation. We're on different sides of the aisle. Make no mistake. We believe in different things, and we have for a very, very long time. But he already gave enough to his nation. Here in his senior moments, he should have been at home, being loved by his wife and his family. And maybe that one granddaughter that he won't claim, not her, but everybody else should have rallied around him in his older age. But what we've seen are people who are still trying to make their bucks on his back. And she's one of them. She ought to be ashamed of herself. Curly hair or straight makes no difference. The book is going to fail, period. Ask Kamala what these word salad books do.
Yeah. Shelly, you got to start off by saying she. The sheet.
Shit.
Yeah, Shelly, you gotta start say it before you start.
Shit.
I love that meme. I love that.
So first of all, she still thinks she's the press secretary.
Right.
That's what it is. She's still pressing for Joe Biden, and God rest his soul, wherever he may be tonight, eating some ice cream. Everybody knows. Everybody has somebody in their family who has unfortunately gone through some kind of cognitive decline, right? So we all know the signs. We might not want to admit it. We want to be we all know it. All she has to do is just say yes. He had some memory lapses. He couldn't, make some long-term plan, things like that. No. She still thinks she's pressing for him. And yes, she's trying to sell her book as well. I don't know she seems to be more of the same part of the Democratic Party, although she's an independent now. Why don't you just come out and say this? It's already out. What do you have to lose? You already left the party, you said. What do you have to lose? You're supposed to be standing on your own. Do it. Just say it. It's the truth. He has cognitive decline, dementia, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a doctor, but Joe Biden ain't all there.
Yeah. Listen, she would sell more books if she did that. She would sell so many more books if she came out and said, look, I left the party. There are a bunch of crackpots, and here's what really happened in the White House. I'd buy that book. I'd want to read it to see what I missed,
Yeah. I got to start off with she. Yeah. First of all, she can't come out now. She stood 10 toes down with him for what, 4 years, okay, or more than 4 years, and she was, right around what she was going with the line that he was sharp as ever. They after the debate, he was engaged, he's sharp, he's vigorous. She just continued to say these. Remember the cheap fakes when she came out, when people were saying, hey man, we got these photos, we got this video of him wandering and all this. Oh, those are cheap fakes. Remember that? This woman has been lying through her teeth for many, many years. She's one of those ones, like a boyfriend who you catch him with his penis in the vagina, and he will still say, I didn't do it. This is her. This is this woman. She cannot tell the truth. She's going to run through this, stay with this lie until the end of her days. Okay. She will not tell the truth. And so she's going to continue to push it. And she's out here now peddling this, book, which nobody's going to buy. She's trying to come out looking, she's trying to change her image. She's straightening her pubic hair. Okay. And this is what she's going to do, but she's going to continue to lie. And this is what these Democrats do and I'm talking about the ones in the party, in the upper echelon. They lie. They don't believe that their voters are smart enough to detect the lies. So they lie, and then they push the emotionalism because they know that these people are wound so tightly. They're so attached to the emotional rhetoric, these emotional narratives. And this is what they sell, because they don't have solutions. So they sell the lies and they sell the emotionalism. And this is what we have. This is the modern day Democrat Party, folks. And this is why we are here, to call them out for their lies. As you all come in, hit that like button. We got so many people watching, over 600 people. Please hit that like button and subscribe.
Yes.
All right. I think we have some super chatters here too. Let's see here. All right. GB Bari with the $10 super chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Rasu Bo 2 with a $2 super chat says, F you, Bernie. They know, they just lie big time. Yeah, I know. As we say in Baltimore, you need more people. You need more people. Yeah, because you're lying. They're lying. We agree. All right, folks. Yes, indeed. So yeah, this want to end tonight on sort of a lighter note. So as we know, Hollywood has pretty much been taken over by these Democrats, the leftists, the insane radical left has taken over most of Hollywood. But here is a bright light, because we've seen, there've been some articles coming out how this transgenderism is starting to, I think it's reached its peak. And people are starting to push back against it. People are starting to say, no, this is not right. And people who, in Hollywood is also are, coming out more so against it, or at least not, being bullied into agreeing with it. And that takes us to Keira Knightley. So Keira Knightley, as you all may know, she's an English actress. She has been in multiple movies. I think she may have even won an Academy Award. She's mostly, she's one of the big movies that she was in was a remake of Pride and Prejudice, one of my favorite movies. And she was out doing press. Apparently, she is doing a voiceover for a Harry Potter movie, I believe. And she was asked about JK Rowling's stance on the trans agenda. Take a look here. This is clip 3.
I saw your voicing Professor Umbridge in the new Harry Potter audiobooks. I was wondering, are you aware that some fans are calling for a boycott, given JK Rowling's ongoing campaign against trans people?
I was not aware of that, no. I'm very sorry. I think we're all living in a period of time right now where we're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we? And we've all got very different opinions. So I hope that we can all find respect.
Okay. So, most of the time people would have said, oh my God, I don't agree with her. Or she would have thrown JK Rowling under the bus. But she was like, really, I don't give a fuck. Shelly, what are your thoughts?
First of all, I have to say, I didn't know who she was, but wait a minute. What was that show you used to like about they were in England with the royalty the family? Is that what she played into?
What?
Oh my gosh, KJ, you got to think of the name of it. What was it?
Oh, Bridgerton?
Yeah, did she play in that?
No. She's a movie actress. She's a movie actress.
Oh, I didn't know she played in too much, but look, JK Rowling has been on this anti-trans for a few years. She's been getting a lot of flack. I think more athletes, JK Rowling, Martina Navratilova, and what's the lady's name? Jillian, the one that just left the show with the ladies, other ladies, Jillian something. They all been anti. Right. Okay. They've all been anti-trans, and a lot of times they've been out there largely by themselves. So maybe more and more people are starting to see, like, you know what? They have a point. They're right. Okay. They're right. And so I don't know. As far as this lady, I can't say much about her. I'm not familiar with a lot of her movies. So as far as her, I just appreciate that she's saying what she's saying. She's not JK Rowling. She's basically saying what she's saying is right.
Yeah, yep. She was a lot of people in the chat saying she was in Pirates of the Caribbean. Yep, which is true.
Oh,
also,
that's who that is. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's who that. Okay,
she was in Atonement. I love that movie. Atonement. Anna Karina. She was in a couple of things.
Okay.
Nicole, are you familiar with her? And what did you think of the interview?
I thought it was a very good response to a tough question. It was a gotcha question. It was are you on our team or their team? And she chose the middle. This is somebody who was prepped for this question and stayed on her talking point. Listen, why can't we just all get along? She went Rodney King on them, and they had no idea it was happening. I loved every minute of the person who prepped her for that interview. Good job.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm excited about this. I hope more people come out and respond to it like that and not throw people who disagree under the bus. Because honestly, what she said, was a very good response. We're going to disagree. We can disagree respectfully. I don't have to throw this person under the bus. And I agree there as well. All right. So we are at the end of our time tonight. Ladies, we will be back. Everybody will be back on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. We're going to be right here at Poppin' Politics. Wanted to just really quickly, there've been a lot of headlines coming out today, and want to just bring you guys just some of the breaking news, just really quickly. So we know here that there was something I wanted to go over. Any breaking news you ladies were looking into?
I do know that the Democrats, they just voted for the 11th time to keep the government shut down. So
really? Okay. Okay. All right. I didn't know that. All right. So yeah, that's one thing. There was something else I saw here I wanted to talk about. Oh, I can't remember what it was, but okay. Well, that's breaking news. So we will keep you guys posted. Oh, yes. All right. We have some super chatters here. So let's see here. All right. We have Megan says Caroline Levitt proved what a real press secretary can do. It's Meg, by the way. I'm not sure why YouTube is reverting to people. Oh, Meg. Yes. I don't know why it's doing that either. Yeah, Josh with the $5 super chat says just walked in the door, but had to send some love. Thank you so much, Josh. We appreciate you. All right. Ladies, final thoughts. I'll start with you, Nicole.
So the breaking headline I was looking at was the appeals court saying that Trump can indeed send troops into Portland.
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely send troops into Portland. You know, here's the thing. I think that this separation of powers argument that Trump has continually been winning is a good thing for people who follow the Constitution. No branch supersedes another branch. Everybody has their own lane. And when the judicial says, no one is greater than me, and I usurp all of your power, and you may not do things unless I say so, it is unconstitutional. So I know that they will likely try to get to the Supreme's emergency docket, which is jam-packed with things. I mean, they're working hard, especially considering they too are federal employees and they too have no money. The justices themselves will get paid per the Constitution, per the law, but their staff is not getting paid, but they keep showing up, you know, because careers are lucrative after you've been a clerk at the SCOTUS. Let's do that. But I think this is a good look. I think this is finally something that needs to happen. If he can bring Portland to heel, I think the rest of the country will follow suit.
Yeah. Folks, there is breaking news out.
Go ahead. What's yours? I want to say. Go ahead.
TMZ just reported President Trump is allegedly considering commuting Sean Diddy Combs' sentence this week and allow him to return back to his home in Miami. So I don't know but usually TMZ is right on it.
Yeah, they are.
I don't like this. I don't like this. What do you ladies think? Nicole, I know you. What do you think, Nicole?
I cannot say. I cannot say anything about it. All I can say is that, you know, there are many reasons why people have sentences commutated.
Commuted in part.
But a lot of the reasons why the most recent people who've had their sentences commuted were because they were overcharged. Exactly. Right. And it's not an indication of their guilt or their innocence, but it's more about how much time they were sentenced to versus someone else who committed the same crime. So we talked about this with the Chesleys. What is it? You remember the people who had the blonde people? And people were saying, well, why would he let them go? Is because they were over sentenced. So when you're over sentenced and you serve the amount of time that typically would be served by any other person who did that crime, then, you know, you look at it different. But for this particular commutation, I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Perhaps. I mean, you are probably right, but this doesn't look good. I'll tell you why. Because when you look at this next to the Epstein files that we have not gotten anything about, that was also a sexual assault, you know, nasty case. And now Diddy is getting commuted for something very similar, still along those lines, the sexual assault.
It's different. It's different. I understand what you're saying about it might not look good, but if it is overreach or overcharging, and that's the constitutional thing to do, it doesn't have to look good. That's what that would be not only that, Donald Trump, who knows more than Donald Trump about being overcharged, okay? And a third point to this, I didn't write the book. Justice Gorsuch wrote the book, Overruled. A Supreme Court justice himself has written the book Overruled. I'm not finished it yet, but he talks about how the law and prosecutors, whomever, they overreach. That is not constitutional. So,
okay, well, but there are multiple people, if you go along these lines, who have been overcharged. Okay, this reeks of money and influence. And when you put this next to, even if I go along with what you are saying, there's more than Diddy who have people who have been overcharged who probably shouldn't be in jail for the period of time that they are in. But he is in the same pool as Epstein. And for him to commute him, and we still haven't gotten anything about this, I am not happy.
No, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. I know we don't want to beat this. Let me ask you this. So would it be better? Would it be better for people, regardless? I know it looks like two-tier. I agree with you. So is it better for them to stay prosecuted or incarcerated just because they don't have? Is it better for them to stay that way, or is it better to right the wrong?
What I'm saying is, there are multiple people who probably need wrongs righted. Okay. This reeks of what do you call it? Of cronyism.
Yeah.
This is cronyism. And when I'm putting this up next to Epstein because again, these are two high-profile cases, and they're both not getting what I believe is justice. It's along the same. It really is leaving a bad taste in my mouth because both of them had something to do with sexual acts. Okay. So I don't agree with this. I think it's a bad move, because let me tell you something. If he's trying to pivot or trying to gain the votes or the likability from Black people, they're not going to give it to him because you let Diddy out. This isn't going to help.
Well, this is not about that. So Alice Johnson is our pardon czar. This is what Alice Johnson, and no one knows more about being in prison than she do because that's where she's from, right? So when you take a look at the sentences, and although Diddy is high profile, he's not the only one. Her office is run amok with everybody who's been overcharged, and many people have had their sentences commuted. Many people have served lesser sentences. This happens day in and day out in her office. Here's the thing. The big difference. What he was convicted of has nothing to do with sexual impropriety. Nothing. Remember when they first charged him and I said, oh, don't overcharge him because this is what happens when you overcharge them. Right.
And I said, what if he's not convicted? I said that.
It doesn't look good. It does not look good.
The same thing. They did not get the same sentences. And
I believe what you're saying may be true. I believe what you're saying. But we all saw the photos, the video. I don't really care. I believe this man needs to be in jail. I do. Now, again, when you look at it, like you all have said, if people who are getting sentences that are too long and should be, he's not the only one. Find somebody else. Okay, this is what I'm saying. This one can stay. Find somebody else. But I mean, letting him out is my gosh.
Well, I do have another breaking news
crime. They didn't charge him with the sexual crime.
You're pregnant.
Who? I have some other breaking news that we can go out on a funny note. I think somebody put it in here, and I was like, that was true. We heard over the weekend. I think Candace Owens, she's still banned from Australia.
Oh, yes, right. I saw that. Yeah.
I agree. The Diddy is dangerous. I agree. He's been dangerous for a long time. He's been a drug addict for a very long time. But I also know that these women willingly participated in this debauchery. So, baby, this is one of them situations when you sign up to be on his arm, you get what you got. Now, she got paid. She got a little notoriety out of it. He even introduced her to her now husband because he was her personal trainer that Diddy hired for her, right? All of these people, you're right, KJ, are morally bankrupt. Every single one of them are morally bankrupt. They should have charged him with the sex crime. They should have charged him with assault, but that wasn't sexy enough and it didn't get enough time. So they overcharged him. And this is what we were screaming when they did that. When you overcharge, what's going to happen when they don't say this was not what you thought it was? So we had the lesser included charge, his wrist slap, and now they're trying to give him more time than he's supposed to have. And that's just not going to fly. Now, I hope and pray, eyes and fingers crossed, that he stays in jail to at least serve what everybody else is serving. Right now, keep in mind, he's been in jail for a minute now.
A year. He'll be out within a year.
We're going to
We'll see. We'll see. Folks, you guys sound off in the chat. What do you think? Do you think that President Trump should commute his sentence or find somebody else? Sound off. Who do we have here? We have some super chatters. Kung Fu CJ with a $2 super chat says, ladies, the files have been destroyed by the FBI.
Oh,
well,
Big
Dog with the $2 super chat says, hell yeah, free Diddy. Cassie guilty too. All right. There it is. Well,
that's going to be a spicy episode. That's going to be a spicy episode.
Yeah. We will see, folks. We will see.
There's another
all
one.
Right. Yeah. That does it for us tonight. Again,
we do have one more. Who's this? Kabuta?
Oh, Kabuta's. Oh, yeah, we got this one. Free Diddy. Cassie should be in jail. All right. All right, folks. Well, and producer, don't read the ones that say free Diddy. All right. I'm just joking.
What you say? Lock his ass up.
No, I mean, you know what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is, folks. So we'll see.
Yeah, I hope he serves some time.
All right. All right, folks. Again, we will be back on Wednesday. If you want something here from Metro Conservative Media, check out the All American Talk Show. All American Talk Show will be on tomorrow at 6:30, actually 7 p.m. tomorrow night. The All American Talk Show. You can find them right here on YouTube at All American Talk. That is our sister station there, and they're going to bring you the latest in news and hot topics. They dig in a little deeper on these issues, so it's a great show. And don't forget, we want to see you guys in Philadelphia this weekend. Again, we will be at the Seed and Roots Conference in Philadelphia. It's going to be a really good time. Faith, family, talking about economics. Definitely come out, get your tickets right there at www.kathybarnett.com. Again, that's www.kathybarnett.com. Saturday from 9 until 5 p.m. And we're going to be there. All of us are going to be there on Saturday doing the interviews, talking with the panel, bringing you guys the latest. So please, we love to just see you guys and put a face to your names on in the chat. All right. So I think that's everything, folks. We'll see you on Wednesday then. Final thoughts. You want to close us out tonight, Shelly?
Good night.
All right. Yeah.